Yeah, I guess now I'm fully back. Nice to see you guys can see me and hear me. All right, so let's begin this live stream with something new. Let's go back a bit with the news, what happened in our community, what we announced, what started, and let's talk a bit about it. First, the big news that we have this month was that we finalized the Series A, and we were able to raise a pretty good amount of capital to improve both liquidity mining and um, both liquidity mining and the Hummingbot client. So expect some exciting things on the near future. Another thing is that last month we launched one of the liquidity campaigns with one of our partners, the Hacken. It's really interesting campaign. We have 15k USDT on KuCoin. So if you haven't checked this campaign, take a look at it. And also the partner Hacking Foundation, they have some really interesting projects going on. So some of them you can check their page on the hackingfoundation.com, and you can see that they have some really cool stuff being developed there, like a privacy app for your phone, where you can check if your passwords, see if your passwords are exactly safe or not, and a VPN also, and they have the HAI token. So make sure to check our partner to see their project and participate in the campaign. So on another campaign that we launched this month was from the DeFi Yield protocol. So this campaign, it is also 15k for 12 weeks, also running on KuCoin only. So make sure another one that have some pretty interesting project. Make sure to check it out about the DeFi Yield protocol, since we are DeFi never stop to bring things new for us. So what else do we have that happened? We have a new campaign that will start on next day 29. It's PVX campaign. This one, for those that are already a long time in crypto, they will probably recognize the name. It's an old token, an old participant of the crypto space. I like the project a bit personally, but as always, do your own research. Nothing I say here is financial advice, so do whatever you want to do. Please take your time to understand whatever you're putting your money in, right? So this campaign, 12k for 12 weeks, running on Binance. And if you don't have a Binance account, what I think it will be pretty rare, we have some referral links if you want to support the project also. So make sure to check these campaigns for these links. And the last news that we had was that last week we had AMA with the Divi team, who also started a campaign with us. So Divi is another interesting project that I like it on this stream that you can see on our channel. You can find the recording there and watch it all. Talked for a few minutes, hours, almost an hour with Nikki from Divi Token, and they showed us some really interesting things that the project does, like the wallet, the mobile wallet that they have, mining campaign. We launched this week on a new exchange that is also a recent built connector, the AscendEx, previously known as BitMax, and they rebranded the exchange, and they started with us a liquidity mining campaign that, for the date, is the biggest campaign that we have so far. So it's 200k in rewards for the liquidity providers that go through the Hummingbot platform to provide liquidity to these partners. And here's the interesting thing about the liquidity campaign. It started with two main tokens, BTC and Ethereum, with 30K for BTC for 8 weeks and 20K for 8 weeks on Ethereum. But stay tuned on the announcements, because we will probably see another set of campaigns with different tokens that is going to complement on with the this campaign, right? So stay tuned. You might see an interesting token that you like, that you want to support. So make sure to take a look at the campaign and see what's coming next for us, right? So as I mentioned before, if you don't have an account, if you want to help us project to keep growing, we do have a referral link. Sorry about that. Referral link on the announcement page. So if you don't have an account and want to keep supporting our project, so it will be cool for us to if you use that link that there. Right. So next, let's talk a bit about the AscendEx. It is an exchange, right? Let me just make things a bit clearer here. Removing this overlay and moving my face down here so you guys can check a bit more about the exchange. So they have some interesting and the usual pairs that you see on all the exchange as usual. If you have the usual process of creating an account and doing your process of adding the funds and start trading. And reminder, who for the majority of the community of that is with us for a long time, probably already know this process. That would be here. You have to create your API key, right, to create a connection both with the Hummingbot client if you're using it, and the miner that you need to for our liquidity mining campaign, our system be able to recognize the orders you are creating and track your orders to see what's your share of the reward of the campaign, right? So that's the usual. And as always, you come to our miner page, miner.hummingbot.io, and inside your account, you have to go to settings and remember to, on the exchange part, add your API keys here, so we can check your orders and distribute the reward properly based on the right. Yeah, that's a big point that I see on the chat, is that safety suggestion is that if you use the Hummingbot client, if you participating in the liquidity mining campaign, remember it's a good idea to create two API keys. For the miner, it only needs the read-only API keys, doesn't need the API to trade, right? So if you're not using Hummingbot, you don't need to allow the API to execute a trade. So it's a bit safer, and it's always good to keep the API keys that you have on each exchange separated by what you're using them for. So that way, if for whatever reason you think that a specific API key, that service you're using is you shouldn't use anymore, you know exactly you could shut down only one of the API keys. So just as always, always keep safety and security of your information around cryptocurrencies as a priority, because as we all know, there's always some bad players around. So take care with your information and don't let it leak go around, so you don't risk losing your funds. Right. So back to the AscendEx. We have the markets, so we can go to the cash trading, is where you're going to find the spot markets, right? And margin trading, the user trading. But at the moment, if you're using Hummingbot client, the connector is only for the spot market for now. And to participate in the liquidity mining, you also need to trade on the spot market. Margin trading and futures do not count for liquidity mining rewards. Okay, so they have two interface. I like the professional one, and from here you can check the markets you want to look at. Sorry, let me just reduce the zoom. There we go. From here you can choose the markets, and you have BTC USD. I have test bot running on the background, so as you can see, I have some orders coming up and down. And click here, you can change the market where you want to take a look into, and that's the user interface of all the exchange you have. Uh, about the campaign itself, let me get back to the Hummingbot miner here. So if you come to the liquidity mining to the miner page, we have this filter, and if you want to know exactly which campaigns are running on each exchange, you can click. For example, we can check on AscendEx which campaigns are running, and you can see here that we have these two, and as usual, we already have a good liquidity being provided since the start of the campaign. So kudos to everyone that's providing liquidity, participating in it. And as usual, you take a look, you see how much you can check for the rewards, 2.5K every week. Maximum spread is 1%, so your orders must be in a spread less than 1% to be eligible to receive rewards. And you can check by the minute what's the average spread that the market makers that are participating here are providing, how much liquidity and how much rewards you can get for a day, and average yield that you can have by running a bot from this market. There's one small detail about the yield is always good to remember, is that the calculation of the yield is mostly it's basically comparison between how much rewards being paid and how much liquidity is being provided in total for all the bots, all the participants, right? So you might see a bit of difference there, depending on how much provided liquidity you are providing, how big or how small is your spreads. So it is a total yield for the whole market and total liquidity. So if it also depends on what's the volume you are providing liquidity and what are your spreads, right? Always good to remember that too. And yeah, that's it. It's a pretty cool campaign since it's also on two main cryptocurrencies, Ether and BTC. And as I mentioned before, stay tuned because we will probably start a few extra campaigns on different tokens on AscendEx. So there is still a big reward to come for for this campaign, right? So the biggest one that we had. So it's going to be pretty cool to see what's going to happen next this campaign, right? So I see a quick question. So does Dodge and Divi also be AscendEx liquidity mining campaign? I don't have this information, actually. I'm not sure. But if they are, don't worry, they will be announced with enough time for you guys to prepare to set your bots, start your bots to participate in this campaign. Right. All right, so this didn't take much long because it's always cool to talk about new campaigns, but as usual, the information are pretty much the same. So anyway, check the campaign. I got a bit lost on what I was going to say here, but check out the campaign and also check out the others we have. We have currently how many of them? Let me see if I can check how many we have. Yeah, I would have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. Yeah, we have between 25 30 campaigns, so you'll probably find one token that you like and that want to support there to participate, right? All right, next one, what we're going to talk, it's something new. We did this a bit in the past. What we're going to try to do right now, it's development updates, right? So we did this sometimes a while in the back, but it wasn't a regular thing that we used to do. But starting today, our plan is that following the development cycle of the Hummingbot client that we have, that is 15 days. So each 15 days, we do our planning, our process internally, what the team is going to work on. So based on this timing, the plan here is that every 15 days on all of live stream, we go through development update to show everyone what's the team working on and what you can expect from the on the following releases of Humbot. So anything that I show here doesn't necessarily will be on the next release specifically, right? So it could take longer time depending on what's the task. But what I will show is something that the team already started to work on, right? So who wants to see what's working on behind the scenes on development? Shall we? Right, let me just set things right so I don't mess up. Here we go. So, what we start with? If you guys have seen, took some time to take a look into the code, and or if you ever run the bot from the source code, you probably have noticed that one of the strategies that exists there is called dev underline one. I don't remember correctly. Dev underline a number TWAP, and it is a strategy that the first reason that we had it was to have an example for developers how to create new strategy, have it, a quick and easy frame to create customized strategies. But looking into it, we noticed that there is a need of some users that talk with us to have a proper TWAP strategy. A quick explanation. The TWAP strategy, basically, what it tries to do is to take a specific amount of tokens or monetary value and execute smaller orders during a certain period of time until the full amount that you want to execute, that you want to trade, uh, to be concluded. So let's say I want to trade 10K UST, I want to buy BTC. So what the TWAP strategy does is that every, let's say, 30 seconds, the bot will create order at certain price to try to buy Bitcoin at that price. So it's more like you take a big order and you divide it into uh, different time between into different smaller orders with some time between them. So what we decided to do is that due to the need of some users told us of having this type of strategy on the to be possible to use this type of strategies, we decided to take the TWAP strategy and start to refactor, rethink how the logic on it works. And on one of the next release, we're going to release it as a production, not, I don't know if I should say production, but one of the core strategies, right? Where it will be on the main branch of the code, on the binary installation, on the Docker installation. So this is one of the new things, new strategies that we are working. So if you're waiting for something like that, one that could also be used for a strategy that's common, that I see that a lot of cryptocurrency participants looking for this type of strategy, like the DCA, the dollar cost averaging, because you can set a certain amount of time for the bot to keep to try to buy. So there's a lot of useful things you can do with strategy. So it's one of the new things that I want. All right, so that's an interesting point I see on the chat, that this strategy is widely used by cryptocurrency whales to not generate strong impacts when buying or selling large amount of cryptocurrency volumes. Exactly that. That's one of the main uses of this type of strategy. That it's on point what you just said. Right. Another one is that we started to work a while already with some possible ways to use indicators with Hummingbot in an easier way. So the main one that we are using as a test case is volatility indicators. You can see some of these implementations already on the strategies. On the liquidity mining strategies, you can set volatility tracking to change your spreads based on the increase of volatility on the market. And on the Avellaneda Stoichkov strategy, we also have this one. And at this moment, what we are working on is like we're taking what we learn from these two and trying to build it in a way that our goal is to have kind of a proper code base to make it easier for developers to create not only this volatility but any other kind of indicator using price information, volume information. So this is something that we start to work on also. Next one is something that personally like a lot because I like hanging orders. But remember, try your own strategies to see what works for you. And we are releasing soon on the inside the Avellaneda Stoichkov strategy, we are adding the possibility to use hanging orders. Right, we started to do some updates on the strategy at last release where we added order levels, so you can already use order levels inside the strategy, and we already are working on the, I would say, on the finish moments. We still have some stuff to fix before releasing, but you'll be able to have hanging orders with the Avellaneda Stoichkov. Next one is UNISWAP v3. So we talked a bit about the UNISWAP v3 strategy. The first implementation that we have is still too crude. There isn't too many strategy logics. It was more a test case of how we can use the bot to create liquidity positions and eventually manage it. So we will keep working on improving the UNISWAP v3 strategy. There is a lot of things that we want to do with it, and one of the things that you probably see, one of the first things you'll probably see on this strategy is that we are adding some ways that you can track the profitability, the profit situation of each liquidity position created by the bot. So okay, so basically that pass, sorry about that, let me get back a bit. So the idea is that when the bot creates a liquidity position, it will track what's the value the moment it was created, and from there you'll be able to monitor the value of the liquidity position plus the trading fees that you collected from that position, and then you see what's the difference between the current value and the starting value. So that's one of the another key that we're going to improve. Also to the UNISWAP v3, related to the volatility indicator that we are working on, the volatility function indicator that we are working on, we also want to use the volatility as a reference to create positions on UNISWAP v3. Right? It's one cool idea that we had. We use the volatility and we try to figure out what would be the better, what would be a good range to open the position, right? Based on the volatility of the market. one of the cool things we are working on. For developers, something that we also have been working for a lot, I would say, to release at least, is that we start to implement it, and we are working on unit tests for the code. So to reduce a bit of the probability of new code that both us, the Hummingbot developers, and the community developers creation, try to reduce a bit the problems that we could have with new code. So it's something that we another step towards creating a better way for external developers to send new codes also. Right. So as a final thought about this update, I want to say a big thank you for these four guys: Wheels ZS03, Tapra, Pietro PTRV, and the Hollis Rogers, because they created some code for the code base for Hummingbot client, and their contributions helped a lot. And it's something that we always like to see, and we are always happy to see when we see a new PR on GitHub with new ideas, things that we haven't thought about yet, and the community creating and improving the tool. That's the whole point of having this tool as an open source code. So we can allow anyone from outside not only what our team look and think could be improvement, but also what you guys look at and see things that we are not seeing. So it's always good to see these PRs coming in, and we are one thing that we are working on is how do we better process this PR? How do we better merge them on the code? That's part of the reason that we started to implement the unit tests to improve this contribution from everyone from the community. And a special thanks to anyone that's creating issues and other PRs inside our GitHub. The issues are also important that you guys create, because it gives us new ideas. It shows us things that aren't working, and also show things that we could do better. We could improve the code itself, improve the code logic, improve the structure of the code. So please keep creating these issues in this PR. There is a lot of them. Last time I saw, we have more than 400 issues on our GitHub page. It's a lot, but please keep them coming, and we try our best to take a look at all of them and take the best idea, the best suggestions, and move into our development cycle. All right, so one small thing before we close this live stream is that I'm going to publish an announcement soon that is related to us wanting our community to participate more and show more their voice of what matters for them on the Hummingbot client. So we want to create. We are going to announce a way. Just announcing an announcement. Sorry about announcing an announcement, but we're going to open up a way where the community will be able to vote on bugs that we have detected on our GitHub page, for our team to look at it and see at what's the priority that the community is looking to see fixed first, right? So it's one way to help us to understand what matters most for the majority of the community, that will have bigger impact on both on the Hummingbot clients and both on the whole ecosystem that we're trying to build, right? So we do have a question today. Good to run liquidity mining VPS? Well, I can't answer this question because there's a lot of factors. You you have to take in consideration if your strategy is profitable, if your what's the cost of the VPS is. It's hard to, it's a question that's hard to answer. It's more like you have to do some math and do some cost cost estimation of what you're going to spend on it, right? Okay, so thank you again, guys. Thank you again one more time for joining the live stream. I'm trying to improve the best that I can of this live stream, trying to make it more informative, more fun. So let me know if there is, and if you like everything, if you don't like everything, if you don't want to see my face, if you want me to close my cam, let me know, and we'll always try to bring new stuff and cool stuff for this live stream, right? Thanks again. See you next Friday. Bye. Happy trading, everyone. Never forget it.